There's a place for every pupil in St. George's Government School, where our nature is made wider as we learn the golden rule. There are duties to be shouldered, there are victories to be won. Let us then be up and doing. Let us study how to live. I moved to Leeds 1959, and I was 23. I traveled by a ship called the Surrento. It was a 2-week journey. It was sort of different to what I thought of England. And, I thought, well, every thing was bright and, easygoing. It was quite industrialized, and you could see the industry, was prevalent.
I was born in Jamaica in 1939. I was 20 when I moved to Leeds in 1960. Caught a train from King's Cross very early in the morning, about 4 o'clock. When I arrived and started getting a feeling of the place, I could see that it was so different from what I'd known before that it's going to take quite a long time to get settled in and feeling comfortable. I never thought about returning to Jamaica either as a visit or anything. For 20 years, I never had any issues of acceptance. The people I met were all friendly, really.
Fitting in, into the English life. I wasn't aware of a community as such. It was like family, friends. Personally, I didn't face any really, but I was aware of it because those days they used to talk about color bar, and the fact that no blacks, no Irish, something. I wasn't personally involved, but I was aware of what was said.
I just felt like I didn't come all this way, these thousands of miles, to spend my time inside a shop. I want to get out and see what's going on. I thought it'd be a good idea to get a job on the buses that would take me around. I got into housing in back end of 1970s, I think. There was a lot of issues and problems around young people leaving school and not being able to get a job or an apprenticeship, and create a lot of tension with their families. What we felt was needed then was to find some way of providing some sort of accommodation and support.
I came to a best friend, and it made me feel okay, but I had to look for work. And my husband was a local preacher in the Methodist church, local Methodist church. So actually the church meant a lot, and as I said, I did several jobs before. Roscoe Church did set up the West Indian Family Counseling Service, which is a project, outreach project and listening. I did do a course in counseling. I applied for the job because I think there was a worker before me, but I got to be the family counselor at Roscoe.
The thing that I will treasure most from living in Leeds is my introduction to the Leeds Library Service. It's by far the most influential and the most positive thing I've had in my 60 years in Britain. When I first came and worked in a tailor shop at the end of Roundhay Road, somebody I worked with there, I can't remember whether I asked him if there's a library about, but he told me that there's a library right at the end of the street. And one lunchtime, I went down and went into the library just to see what it was like. And it was the biggest discovery I made. And you could just go in and borrow 4 books, keep them for 2 weeks, return them, and it didn't cost you a thing, not a penny. Wherever I moved to in Leeds, I would always find out where the nearest library was. Looking back, I think that saved my life in a way, yeah, because I was lost in terms of what to do, you know. But if I can get a book and get absorbed in it, that was good. That was good for me.
There's a place, oh, may I find it, where my mission I can fill, be it humble or exalted, may I hold it with a will. Help me, Lord, from this day onward, find and occupy my place.